spitballs. What's happening, everybody? It's me, Allie Burns from Picks and Parlays, and it's time for another Picks and Parlays Power Hour. We're talking all things football. I've got Cameron Ross here today. I've got Sean Higgs here with an NFL Rapid Fire, and I've got Jesse Shul with a two-team parlay. So lots to unpack here. But before we get started, I got to remind everybody about my sponsor, FanDuel Sportsbook. Check out the description of this video for the link. And I've got to tell everybody about nohouseadvantage.com. This is for all of you fantasy players out there, all right? It's a new platform, dynamic fantasy sports platform for all of you out there. Just go to nohouseadvantage.com. They are changing the game. Get yourself hooked up and have some fun. Okay, so we're going to start this out with Cameron Ross and some college football. Camalama, how's it going, friend?
It's going, running around out in the world still, having to handle grown folks' business, but here I am.
Grown folks' business. Gross.
I'm sick of it. I'm just over it.
Yeah, right? Oh, so overrated, this adulting thing that we always wanted to do when we weren't doing it. Okay, so let's talk college football. We're in the ACC. We've got Wake Forest -4 at NC State, and the total's 54 on this Saturday game. What do you have for this one?
Yeah, this is a really, really close matchup. 21 and 22 in the nation, squaring off for ACC seeding. Neither team is really going to compete for that number one seed on their side of the ACC because they're both on the same side with Clemson, and Clemson is running away with it. Wake Forest has played well as of late until this past week when they got just completely mauled by Louisville. Sam Hartman was terrible. He had 6 turnovers in the game, 5 consecutive possessions in the third quarter. Wake had 8 total turnovers as a team. I think Wake's gonna get back on track here, play well against an in-state rival. North Carolina State allows 10 points less per game, but Wake is scoring 12 more points per game. Their offense is far more explosive. I think this is a big bounce back spot for Wake Forest. This is, like I said, in-state rivalry. I expect the Demon Deacons to show up and play really well and get this win and cover on the road.
All right, and get her done. Okay, so that's what we're going to roll with. Up next, we're talking some NFL. The Rams are at the Bucs. We got the Bucs -3. Total on this one is a 42.5. How do you see this one turning out?
Yeah, both of these teams coming into the season, they were really, really heavy favorites in the NFC. The Rams are, they're the reigning champs. Both teams are under 500. The Rams are 3-4. The Bucs are 3-5. I think this one is much, much more important for Tampa Bay. They've just looked bad. They have looked bad, just to say it lightly, to say it nicely, bad. But both teams have a lot of questionables in this game. Mike Evans is questionable for Tampa Bay. Julio Jones is as well. Russell Gage, Cameron Brate, all of them are questionable in this game. But Cooper Kupp is questionable on the Los Angeles side. And without Cooper Kupp, Los Angeles has nothing. And I mean nothing. Cam Akers is also questionable. Van Jefferson. I do expect a lot of these guys to play, but this game seems like just a must-have for Tampa Bay, as they are 2 games under 500. This is the first game going into the second half of the season. It's a must-have if they're going to turn things around. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay to cover the small number in front of their home fans against a beat-up Rams team.
Also, the first game since Brady announced the divorce. So, I like the idea of Brady sticking it to Giselle in this one and saying, what? I'm still playing sister, no matter what you say.
Still got it.
Exactly.
I'm still the man.
Still the GOAT, baby. Still the GOAT. People at home, if you're looking for Cameron Ross's premium plays, head over to picksandparlays.net and use the promo code NFL. It's going to save you 20% off the entire site. Thank you, Cam, for joining us on the Power Hour. I'll see you again next week. All right, up next, I've got Sean Higgs. He's got a free college football pick for you, and then we're going into the NFL Rapid Fire. So without further ado, Sean Higgs from Winning Free Picks. How's it going, friend?
Pretty good. I was checking out some college basketball lines are starting to pop up for Monday.
So, it's time. It's that time of year. Yes. I know Tim Earl already has 13 plays out. I'm like, holy smokes, friend. No one's played the game yet. What are you betting on?
I got 2 right now. But I've only looked at 1, 2, 3, 6. I've only looked at 7 games. I got two bets down already.
All right, that's about par for the course. All right, well,
Yes.
let's talk some college football, something we do have some numbers on. Clemson -3.5 at Notre Dame. The total on this one's 44.5. How are you going to play it, Higgs?
Yeah, like what is up with this line? Totally bizarre, fishy line to me. And I'm all for 3.5, take a fave and run away with it, right? Like they want you to get that extra half point. Notre Dame's lost at home to Stanford and Marshall. And yet Clemson still undefeated, though they hung in there. You know, they hang on, beat Syracuse. Maybe a couple things fell in their favor there. Syracuse team that Notre Dame absolutely destroyed. You know, props to them for that. And let's all, Notre Dame went into North Carolina, beat them. BYU in Vegas they took care of. I know the quarterback is not that great. Clemson benched their quarterback. I'm going to take the 3.5 here, whatever I could get. If it looks too good to be true, I'm not buying it. Clemson benched their quarterback. I know the defense is as good as it gets. There's still a solid defense. I think the undervalue is gone, right? The unders come sailing down here, so I'm not really going to get involved in that. I'm taking Notre Dame. Is this a Notre Dame helmet or a Cleveland Brown helmet? What was Lenny doing with that one? Could have a little leprechaun out there, Lenny. I need a little extra luck when I'm taking a terrible Notre Dame team here plus 3.5. Put the Irish guy. I need a little leprechaun out here. Let's go. So give me Notre Dame in the stinky line of the day game here. This is like a salmon on a rock, like a hot rock jetty in July. This is a terrible play, but I'm taking Notre Dame.
Fishy, fishy, fishy. All right. So over at the site, guys, Sean Higgs is your record is 1,149 wins to 1,114 losses. You're up almost $2,500. If you want some of Sean Higgs premium plays, head over to picksandparlays.net.
It's a lot of dogs and money lines in there. That's why you could bet that many and be up that much because you're getting some value. It's not we're not laying 190s and stuff like that.
That just shocked me. I know you're a high volume player, but how many picks I just saw, I was like, wow, that really was quite a lot of picks.
Well, you're talking 1,000 baseball already, right? Did 1,000 for the season, and you add in half a thing of basketball, it's going to be at 600 college basketball games on top of that. Got 100 football games this season already. NFL. I mean,
there it is.
So definitely a lot of value in the package.
Lots of value. Yeah. So find Sean Higgs over at picksandparlays.net. Use the promo code NFL. It'll save you 20% off. And don't forget, everybody, to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. Picks and Parlay Power Hour is on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. All right. Let's get in to the NFL rapid fire. We've got 5 games in 5-ish minutes. Let's get it started off. We're going to start with the Colts at the Patriots. Patriots -5.5. The total's 39.5. I am a sucker for the plus 5.5 play. It's just how I roll. What do you got on this one, Higgs?
Yeah, and this is actually down from a 6.5. I mean, how it comes down with a backup quarterback for the Colts and a trade a running back who I kind of liked for them, but this Patriot team, and listen, I had them last week, and I had Washington against the Colts here. Man, this is an ugly game. Like, what's going on in New England? Everybody was all high on Mac Jones. Is he working his way back? Is he good? Is he bad? I still blame the coordinators. And the Colts, I don't think they're as bad as they've been. They've had some bad luck, right? No running back for a while. Matt Ryan looked like he just aged overnight. But again, you see this number 6.5 to 5.5. Give me the Colts. I'm not overthinking things. Everyone's gonna run. The Patriots just got to win by a touchdown, and the line goes down. People think this is an easy game for the Patriots. Colts out right here. No way. Give me the Colts.
Yeah. Not at all. Okay, let's talk Seahawks at the Cardinals. Me and Dan Kaiser play fantasy football in our Picks and Parlay league this week, and he's got Kyler and I've got Gino. So this one means a lot to me. We got the Cards -2. The total's 50.5. What do you see happening in this one, Higgs?
Yeah, and here's another one. Line coming down. Everybody's going, it's Arizona. Well, what do we get out of Arizona? I mean, you like Kyler Murray? I'm not a Kyler Murray guy. I'm not a head coach guy for them. And Seattle seems to be better without Russell Wilson. Maybe he was part of the problem. I don't know. Gino, good for Gino. He's getting a shot to play. He was good filling in last year for Russell. He's got decent wide receivers. He's got running back. The defense has come around. Everybody just kind of thinks back to that Detroit game where it was 45, 44, whatever the heck. They play defense. The only time the Giants scored last week was when they fumbled on the 1-yard line. I think the only time they ended up getting some points over there or whatever. I mean, They could play some defense. And the lines come down again. Give me Seattle. I'm not passing up teams that are playing well, and they don't make mistakes. Gino's not out there throwing like 10 picks a game.
Right. Yeah, that's just it. My man got on me because I traded Tom Brady for Geno Smith, and now he's like, okay, maybe you had the right idea. Sometimes I know things. Okay, sometimes I do.
Don't worry about that
Um,
name. Take the name away. Look at the stats.
Yep, that's just it. Okay, let's go. Packers at the Lions. Packers are a -3.5. The total on this one's 49.5. How are we going to do it?
Again, this is like that Notre Dame Clemson game. How the heck Green Bay 3.5? How the mighty this line should be like normally this line would be like a 10 or something, right? You'd be laying.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Lions here. I liked them last week plus 4.5 against. I love Lenny's Lions scratching up the Green Bay. I like the line. I thought last week's line was a little fishy, although Miami ended up kind of getting over the number. I think this is another one where like, why is this 3.5? I will take the Lions, hold my nose, take the play here. Everybody heard everything about Green Bay on Sunday night. You heard the announcers go through all the injuries, blah, 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 blah. Well, those guys are supposed to probably be back this week. They'll have wide receivers. And the line is still this number, not moving. And I know that there's a anvil of money on Green Bay. Give me the Lions. Again, like the Colts, outright, doggies outright. It's all over the place. It's going to be a wild – it'll be like a doggy Super Bowl on the what is that, Pet Channel, Animal Planet, whatever.
Yeah.
Dogs
The
are
puppy
running
bowl?
around. Puppy
The
bowl.
old puppy bowl, yeah. My
It's
mom loves a good puppy bowl. So
November
nothing to
Puppy
do with
Bowl.
the Super Bowl. Yeah, nothing to do with the Super Bowl, but the puppy bowl, we're making nachos for that, everybody. Okay, so another one of these really mismatched matchups. We got Bills at the Jets. Bills -12.5. The total's 47.
Yeah, this one here, we're going to go under the total here because I'm expecting nothing from the New York Jets. This is now Buffalo. Could they sleepwalk to a 27-10 win to cover the number? Probably. That's probably we're going to look at something like that. I don't see Buffalo dropping a 40 spot here to really get this over. And if they do, so be it. I'll be like, well, you know what? We know I like Buffalo to win it all anyway. So I'll feel good about them continuing to roll. I just think 47 is too much because I'm asking the Jets to score 10 points here. I don't know if I'm going to get it.
That's fair. Okay, so let's talk Titans at the Chiefs. Last one for the round. Chiefs are -12.5 on this one. Totals 46.5.
Yeah, this is a overplay for me here. I get Andy Reid off a bye week with Mahomes at home. It's utter destruction time. Tennessee, okay, you're not going to rush for 240 yards here in this game. You're not doing it. I know you'd probably think, well, let's lean to the under here because Tennessee's going to try to keep Mahomes and the offense off the field. If you're going 3 and outs, that offense is going to come in and score some points. And I'm assuming the backup's in, right? Willis probably quarterback in here, I guess, or Tannehill back. It won't make a difference. If he's going to make some mistakes, set up short fields, I think Kansas City scores 40, and I need a garbage score from Tennessee. I think I get it.
A garbage score from Tennessee.
Team total over KC. I don't know if I ever put those out when we do these kind of shows.
Call.
I mean, team total was it going to be like 33, something ridiculous, but I don't care. I'm going to lay it.
That's a good call because I was just going to say that Chiefs team, you blink and the score doubles. I mean, they can put up points and they put them up fast and in bunches. So
definitely maybe a first half here out of the gate off the bye week. Maybe they jump out to a 28-0 lead or something, and it slows down second half and it's 31-14 or something ridiculous like that. But definitely KC in the first half, stuff like that. KC team is where to go.
There it is. Sean Higgs over at picksandparlays.net. You are number 1 in the NFL, making $2,700, and you're number 1 in the NBA. You're 6-1, up $787 over all the picks. You're number 4 on the site. People at home, check out Sean Higgs at picksandparlays.net. Use the promo code NFL to save you 25% off the entire site. Sean, thank you so much for joining us today on the Power Hour. We'll see you again next week.
Take it easy. Thank you.
Cheers. All right, guys. Up next, we've got Jesse Shul with a college football pick and a 2-team NFL parlay. Let's bring him in. Hi, Jesse. How's it going?
Good to see you again, Allie.
Yes, indeed. So talk to me about this Saturday matchup, UCLA -10.5 at Arizona State. We've got a total of 66 and a hook. What are you saying here?
Well, looking at the side, maybe a lean toward UCLA. They look like the right side, but I'm not in the business of backing double-digit favorites on the road. So I'm going to look at the total here. The number has been bet up from 63 all the way to 66.5. The key number being 65. Once it gets over that 65 mark, that under is looking pretty interesting. Last year's game landed right on 65. Arizona State's gone under in 8 of their last 9 home games. UCLA did win 25-18 the last time they played at Arizona State in 2020. And the under is 7-3 in UCLA's last 10 versus losing records. Everything says this game's going to be high scoring, but that number is a little inflated. I wouldn't doubt if it lands somewhere between 60 and 65.
60 and 65. So it might be a sweat, but it's going under the total is what Jesse is telling us. Now, Jesse, over at picksandparlays.net, you are 30-23 in college football. You're up almost $400 for our viewers. So people at home, if you want to get in on Jesse's premium plays, head over to picksandparlays.net and use the promo code NFL to save you 20%. All right, let's talk NFL 2-team parlays. We're going to start it off with the Chargers at the Falcons. Chargers are a -3, totals 49. I know we talked about this game a little bit on my Morning Wood show every Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern earlier today. Break it down for me again.
Well, the Chargers coming off a bye draw a favorable matchup against an Atlanta team that has been quite competitive, but they haven't won that many games, and they do rank dead last in the NFL against the pass. They're allowing 307 passing yards per game. The Chargers are a little bit banged up at wide receiver. Justin Herbert still finds a way to play quite well. His numbers aren't that bad, all things considered. Of course, Austin Eckler, a beast. I expect the Chargers to win this game, and I expect them to run up the score a little bit. Their defense isn't that great, so they'll probably give up a few points. Chargers in the over is the way I want to play this one.
All right, Chargers -3 and the over 49. That's our first 2-team parlay. Our second one, we're going to talk about the Ravens and the Saints. We got Ravens -2.5. This is Monday Night Football, everybody. So remember that. Ravens -2.5 at the Saints, and the total on this one is 48. So how are we going to do this parlay?
Well, I'm looking at the Saints and their defense. Of course, they pitched a shutout against the Raiders last week, which was a little surprising. It seemed like the betting public was lined up behind Las Vegas last week, and a lot of people lost a lot of money. But I also like the under. This Ravens team, not the greatest at passing the ball, of course, with Lamar Jackson. They've been, quite so-so. A road game at New Orleans against this defense that's seemingly playing quite well, looks pretty good. The Ravens defense, terrible against the pass, but perhaps the Saints passing game with the injuries to their wide receivers isn't the best matchup to take advantage of that. If you look at the injuries for these two teams, you got Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, and Mark Ingram all questionable or out for the Saints. You got Gus Edwards, Mark Andrews, and Rashad Bateman either out or questionable for the Ravens. And that's a lot of offensive firepower that could be sidelined. So I expect it to be a low-scoring game, and I'd side with the home team.
All right, so under 48, and we're leaning towards the Saints is the way that we're going to play this one. All right, people at home, if you haven't checked out Jesse Shul's premium plays in the NFL, he is 23-13, up almost $900 in the NFL alone. Head over to picksandparlays.net, use that promo code NFL. It'll save you 20% off the entire site. Jesse, thanks so much for meeting us over on the Power Hour. We'll see you again next week. Good luck, everybody.